Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk through the absolute basics of nutrition that everyone needs to know. So, welcome back to my channel. It's been a busy week. I had a half marathon in the weekend. I feel really sore, but I'm recovering well. And I've got a half marathon in Paris this weekend. So if any of you are from France, are from Paris, then let me know, comment below. I will be doing a meetup of some form and I will be traveling a lot more this year. So make sure you comment and let me know where you are from. This video is all about nutrition. I've been meaning to do it for a while, but it's the absolute basics. It's the basics that everyone should need to know just for their health and well-being, let alone for achieving actual fitness goals, whether that's in your body fat percentage or to be an elite athlete or performance. These are the basics. So normally when I do something like this, I have people in front of me to engage and interact like in a seminar or a lecture, but this is going to be a bit different when I'm just talking to you. So let's get right to it. First of all, I want to apologize for my handwriting because it's not very good, but I hope you guys can understand. So when it comes down to all of your food, the food that you eat, every single thing that you eat comes down into a macronutrient. Your macronutrients. And your macronutrients are your proteins, carbohydrates and fats. So every single food that you eat will be one of those, and most commonly will be a mixture of those, whether it's a mixture of proteins and carbs or carbohydrates and fats, or sometimes all three of them. But most of the time a food will probably have a majority of one macronutrient. So after macronutrients there are also your micronutrients, and your micronutrients are your vitamins and minerals. But let's spend today's video focusing on the macronutrients, your proteins, carbohydrates and fats. So let's just make a little table here with your protein, carbohydrates and fats so we can get a more understanding of what they are individually. So your protein, for example, let's talk about the types of protein, or how is this broken down into a further level. So with protein, we are looking at your amino acids. There are 20 amino acids. Some are essential and some are non-essential, meaning some your body can manufacture itself and others you have to get it from your diet. Amino acids are your building blocks for your protein, and your body and every living cell on your body needs protein to grow, live, survive. And especially if you're doing weights and resistance training and any exercise at all, you are breaking down your muscle fibers, breaking down your cells, and they need to recover and grow whilst you're sleeping. And that would not happen without protein. So let's move on into carbohydrates. And this can be broken down into two types. You probably know it already, and that is complex carbohydrates and simple carbohydrates. And your complex carbs can be broken down again into starchy complex carbohydrates and fibrous complex carbohydrates. And this basically means the rate in which a particular food increases the blood sugar level. So a complex carbohydrate will have a slower digestion and a slower rate of blood sugar increase, and a simple carbohydrate will have a quicker one. And finally, into the fats. And in the fats, we've got saturated fats and unsaturated fats. And the unsaturated fats are your poly and mono unsaturated fats. Poly and mono unsaturated fats. And also, finally, you have trans fats. But you don't want trans fats. They're the nasty ones. They're all the junk food, all the crap food, all the hydrogenated products and the commercially baked crappy food. We don't want those. So I really don't want to patronize you in this next section, so we'll keep it quick and just show you a few good quality foods that can be put into these three sections so you can take home and give it a go. So protein, obviously you've got your meat and your fish and eggs and dairy. Dairy is one of those things that's quite a balanced food, so you will have carbohydrates and fats in dairy products as well. Dark green vegetables, if you got to pack your diet with as much dark green vegetables, because it packs not only your fibrous complex carbohydrates but also good protein as well. And if you are vegetarian, then it's important to keep the protein up even though you're not having meat or fish, or even eggs maybe if you're vegan as well. So you've got things like quinoa and rice and beans and things like that, so make sure you're getting in the protein content from those things. So then when we come to our carbohydrates, we've got our vegetables, we've got rice like I've already spoken about, potatoes, sweet potatoes, pasta. These are complex carbohydrates, just like oats, complex carbohydrates. Fruit is a simple carbohydrate, but again, it is a carbohydrate full of lots of micronutrients that we cannot be missing out on. beans, and lots of other things as well. And then lastly, the fats. Obviously we've got nuts, seeds, avocados, oils, oily fish. Remember, fish is a protein source, but oily fish like salmon and mackerel has the fat. Eggs, which of course, egg whites is a protein, but the egg yolk is a fat. And what we're looking for here in the fat section is omega-3s, your omega-3 fatty acids. A lot of people have a very high omega-9, omega-6 diet, but what we need to do in our Western diet is increase our omega-3 fatty acids, and what we can do with oily fish and avocados and nuts is do that. So like I said, these are just very quick, brief examples. Let's move on. So the final section, I want to talk about how many calories per gram of each of these macronutrients you can find. So for example, how many calories per 1 gram of protein is there? So if you have 1 gram of protein, you will get 4 calories. Okay, and then next, carbohydrates. How many calories will you get from 1 gram of carbohydrate? Anyone? I'm used to doing this in a seminar where we can play a really good game of higher and lower, and it's lots of fun. But no, it's just the same. 4 calories per 1 gram of carbohydrate. But what about fat? Fat is 9. You get the most amount of calories per 1 gram of fat than you do with carbohydrates and protein. But you know this already, just think about it common sense. You know that a big pile of nuts or a big handful of avocado is going to have more calories than if you had a big handful of chicken or a big handful of oats, which will be less calories per volume or per size. Okay, you're probably thinking, why do I need to know that? That's pointless for daily knowledge. Well, it's not. It's actually extremely important, and everybody needs to know this basic form of knowledge because you gain a more understanding of the foods that you're eating every single day. So my challenge to you is a task to take absolute responsibility of your nutrition. Whatever your goals are, whether it's health or fitness or anything in between, I want you to go to the supermarket or do your shopping and turn over a food label and have a little look. Understand what is in that food that you've picked up and understand, is it a carb? Is it a fat? Is it a protein? How many calories does it have? And once you gain an understanding of these kind of things, you will be interested, you'll find it enjoyable to track your food and see what food you're enjoying and having, and most probably make better choices away from the trans fats and start to time it and use it the best of your capability to get the best results. Okay, that is it for today's video on basics of nutrition. I really hope to help you. And if you need further help, then make sure you check out my CROCKFIT online programs at alexcrockford.com, where there is a nutrition guide to every single program. And I have also created a long recipe list full of all the information that I've created here for you today. So that's it for now. I've had to focus the entire time whilst Baxter has been here playing and clawing and meowing. So from me and Baxter, bye-bye. Baxter, I'm trying to make a really good video. No. Get down. Get down, please. Just lay down and relax, naughty boy.